But yeah, my name is John Kim. I am the co-director of the Produthon, and I'm so excited to be presenting the exhibition here to you today. We've had a long journey, 2 weeks of Produthon full of boot camps, competitions, workshops, mentor sessions, judging, presentations, and now we're here at the last phase. And we're incredibly excited for everyone here that will be presenting their products.
Awesome. We should probably start this event by acknowledging the land that UBC is situated in. So both UBC Product Management Club and UBC BizTech is located at the University of British Columbia, which is located on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh people. So if you want to learn more about the native lands that we're located at, Scott will put a link in the chat now, so you guys can take a look at that. And moving forward, for today, we have a very brief schedule. So we have exhibitions first, where our winning teams from the Produthon last week will present their amazing products, and super excited to see what people come up with. And we'll then have voting and closing and prizes. And then after that, we'll open breakout rooms for you guys to get to know each other a bit more. We have some professionals here joining, as well as other representatives from other student organizations, so you guys can get a chance to get to know each other. And yeah, we'll end off the night with the networking. So for the prize structure for today, this is the exciting stuff. So our top exhibitor will get $500, which they can use as seed funding for their product to take it forward, either with development or in general. And then we have $250 for the runner-up. And these prizes will be decided by you, the audience. Yeah, and I'll pass it back to John now to take it away for the rest of the event.
Yeah, and so we've heard about this seed funding, we've heard about this Produthon, but who's actually going to be speaking to us? Who's going to be showing off their amazing products? So these are the 7 teams that will be presenting, and these are all either finalists, podium toppers, or innovation prize winners from last weekend's competition. So you have Team 13, Desk, Team 7, Kindred, Team 2, Grove, Team 4, TaskLess, Team 16, OneCard, Team 6, Insight, and Team 5, Onboard. And this is the presentation order in which we'll be going through. So just a note for the exhibitors, you will have, again, to reiterate the rules, you will have 8 minutes to exhibit your product. You will have full share screen access. Throughout the presentation, our trusty finance exec from PMC, Rithvik, will be sending in reminders at the 4-minute, 1-minute, and 30-second marks in the chat. So if you're sharing screen, make sure to pop out the chat, which you can do, so you can monitor the chat while you're presenting and sharing your screen. We also recommend that you have your own personal timer on your phone pulled up as well. And so this is the main question that all of us will be considering when we're watching these exhibitions. Which team do you think will make the most of the funding? Because that's we want to make sure that the teams that do receive the funding are the teams that will go forward and make an impact with the product that they have, whether it's building a really cool project for developers and designers, or even into commercial viability. We'd love to see something come out of our Produthon like that. And yeah, so we'll go for it. Team 13, are you ready to present?
Yes, but I don't have access to screen sharing.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and stop sharing, and you should have access to screen sharing now.
Okay. Let me know if you see my presentation.
It looks good to me, and I think everyone is ready. Rithvik, are you ready for the timing?
Yeah, for sure. We can get started.
Awesome. Take it away, Team 13.
Give me a sec. Okay. Whenever okay. All right, 3, 2, 1, start. So let me first off start by asking the judges, what do you think is the most common issue in the digital learning space for students today? Anything? No? Well, let me tell you. The importance of networking and self-learning is one of the most critical problems that many students face today. University is only the beginning foundation for students' long-term development for their workforce and career success. Imagine a future with an online platform where we can bring together people to share ideas, exchange resources, connect relationships, whether for employers or specifically for students on a global scale. And the key idea is that all of this is on one single platform. Hello, we are Team 13 bringing to you Desk, a virtual tool that brings you together, but not exactly together. Well, this problem-solving space was basically a roller coaster. We went through a lot of challenges and learning. Initially, the problem discovery phase, we interviewed a lot of young professionals, and we found that employees don't feel connected in their workforce. And basically, by brainstorming the features ideas, we thought that the product could be something like an internal platform for employees to casually connect and chat. But oh boy, were we wrong. At the product validation phase, we realized that even though our initial interview suggested that the employees wanted to engage and meet people, it wasn't exactly what they were looking for. And additionally, they didn't think that it was valuable enough to put enough effort to participate and adopt our idea. So this basically made us do a big U-turn and started from scratch. But this whole process wasn't gone to waste, because talking to one of our interviewers who was also a student, she mentioned that this is a problem that a lot of students are basically facing, that they're very comfortable with technology, and they think that this is really good for students where they're able to build a network and basically interact with each other. So through the interview phase, we thought that there was two motivations why students want to reach out to students. First is that they want to make friends with a sense of belonging. And second of all, it was a way to connect, where a lot of students would join Facebook groups specifically to do well on tests and exams. So ideally at this point, we had a rough idea, which the question we were facing is how to facilitate a student-to-student interaction to collaborate and network. And from here, we did further research. Meet April. April is a third-year university student whose goal is to meet and build network to engage in a social conversation, to boost productivity, and to favor group learning sessions. She values networking and learning and is often frustrated through online networking events, and she is often frustrated the fact that in order to join a group, she also always has to go through a bunch of Facebook messages, as you probably know, social media platforms, and then groups. And then a lot of times these groups have maximum capacity of 200 members, where on top of that, she finds it very difficult to have all the resources compiled all into one platform, which is very inconvenient for April. Now, in terms of the market research, we found that levels of remote learning, of course, due to COVID-19 has increased, where 100% of students, 100% of schools have shifted online through virtual e-learning platforms. And on top, a lot of students found that universities do not provide sufficient resources for platforms for students to interact virtually for study purposes. And on top, 98% of students showcase the demand for micro e-learning platforms to create a strong tool. And studies have shown that group learning is one of the best ways for people to understand and retain information. Therefore, we believe that there needs to be a platform that efficiently delivers a virtual and group learning experience. So let's talk about numbers. How big is this actual market?
Yeah, first, Desk will provide free service for all students, but it doesn't mean we cannot generate revenue. For a short-term revenue stream, we generate ads for companies targeting students. After our platform has enough student users, selling data will be a long-term revenue stream. Questions on our specific revenue model can be answered during Q&A. Now we look at the top-down method to validate our market size. The global digital advertisement market was 170 billion in 2020 and is forecasted to hit 2040 in 23. And this is our total available market. Research indicated about 73% of companies worldwide have students as one of their target markets, where our service addressable market would be 123. We have confidence to obtain 5% share of the market and earn a market size of $6 billion. Now look at our product.
Now, let's take a look. If you remember April, our student, she is a Western University student, and she will land on our platform Desk. She will first log in through her student email and password. After she logs in, she'll land on the homepage. Homepage, as you can see, at the top is all the universities. And because we want to elevate this international student platform, she can access university from Western as well as UBC and all around the world, including schools from China, United States, and so on. Second of all, you can see that there's a lot of different featured rooms. These are the rooms that April has already joined. As you can see, there's the study rooms, the libraries, and at the bottom, here are the personal stats that can track her productivity. So you can see the different times with different colors. And on the right side, this is just for a little fun thing to motivate her to see who has used the platform the longest. Now, say she wanted to join the study room. She would click on the study room, and here are all the different people that has already joined this platform. You can turn on your camera, turn off your camera, have the chat at the bottom, as well have a playlist and music going on in the background for everyone to listen. So say that people from the platform has uploaded all the information. You click on the little chat room file. You can see all the different tabs that you can download, favorite all the files, as well move it to your personal files. Under the files, you basically, April has created a folder that incorporates all the different files. And keep in mind, this platform, everything is all together. So essentially, if someone uploads something, it would pretty much categorize itself. April can manage it as well. Everything is basically in the group chats all together. So at this point, April can either go back to the study room or homepage. So say she went back to the homepage and say that she doesn't know, she wants to join other rooms. She can press on Western University, which is her own university. And inside the university, as you can see, there are a bunch of different classes that has already been programmed inside of this platform. As well, students can also open their own individual rooms, as you can see with the virtual learning and etc. And as of course, on the left side, we created convenience for all our users, where on the side, you see that there is a saved file, messengers, friends, that you can see which room that they're in. You can join them. You can click back to home, as well. You can click on save files, which leads you back to the folder room that you created. One last thing to note is because of security reasons, every student has to log in through their email through the university in order to access the platform. Say that you are a university student, but you do not have access to, your university is not partnered with our platform. You will sign in and pretty much this will pop up where you will enter your information, and then Desk will basically deal with all this information and have your university partnered with it. So I'm going to go back to the presentation. Now, in terms of competitors, we have a few: StudyStream, as well as YouTube, Twitch, and Discord, and all this can be answered during Q&A. And one last thing is the question of why people would invest into Desk. Well, first, it's free. You have nothing to lose for students or universities. Second of all, it enhances a very good student learning experience, whether to solve problems, group learning, exchange network, etc. As well, Desk, we provide a global university community platform. Essentially, it's a university within university, where we want Desk to create a main global student hub for networking and learning. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Team 13 Desk. I think everyone is giving you a virtual round of applause. Okay, sweet. And so we'll be transitioning over to Team 7. So Kindred, if you'd like to go ahead and start sharing your screen. Just a reminder that there are no Q&A periods for the exhibition itself. You can save that for the networking portion when you'll have access to the teams to ask the most difficult or the most friendliest questions that you all want to ask. Awesome. So I see everyone from Team 7 is ready. The screen share can go ahead and enable that on Zoom. Just a reminder to pop out the chat while you're screen sharing so that you can see with fixed timing reminders.
Cool. Can you guys see my screen? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, we can see it. We can see the entire tab though, so I'm not sure if that's what you're wanting.
Okay. Yeah. How about now?
Yeah, no, that looks great, Max. Awesome.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
I think Rifik is ready, so go for it.
All right, let's begin. So hi everyone, my name is Brendan and I'm part of Team 7, here to present to you Kindred. Our slogan, building real connections in a remote workplace. So let's start with a question. How many of you guys feel lonely working remotely? You know what? I already know the answer. Over half of you guys feel lonely at work, and it sucks. I know, I'm on the same boat. In fact, all 4 of us on our team have experienced this, especially due to us having a recent experience with remote onboarding. It was actually very similar. In the first 2 weeks, our HR team set us up with some meetings with our managers and coworkers, as well as give us a checklist of stuff to complete. But after those meetings died down, we really kind of sunk in and realized that, hey, without these meetings that are scheduled for us, it really gets kind of lonely. So here comes to our main problem. New hires feel less connected in this remote workplace. And we were able to validate this. We surveyed other Produthon competitors as well as our friends who experienced this loneliness during remote onboarding and onwards. And 88% of them found that it was difficult to make meaningful connections. But not feeling lonely at work and not feeling engaged is not a new problem. It has long since existed in workplaces. But coronavirus and remote working has definitely exacerbated this. In fact, in a survey done, it was one of the biggest challenge for working remotely, 20% in fact. This problem isn't only for employees though, it extends to employers. Employees who feel lonely have 18% lower productivity. As well, 60% of employees are more likely to leave, leading to losing top talent. So with all this data that we collected, we created two personas. A persona for HR, Sarah, as well as a persona for a new hire, Nicole. Both of their problems can be boiled down to this one question. How can we ensure new hires feel connected in this remote workplace?
So to address those questions, we present our solution, Kindred. Kindred is a personalized, integrated solution that helps new hires create meaningful connections remotely. It's a web app platform that connects employees' work calendars to set up curated one-on-ones and recommend events with its interest matching technology. Kindred's core features were based on addressing the pain points of Nicole and Sarah, the intern and HR personas we introduced. I'll give a high-level overview of these features and the pain points they address, and later my teammate Max will take you on a more in-depth tour of our demo. One core feature is automatically scheduling one-on-one chats based on common interests, addressing the intern's pain point of lacking the tools to make meaningful connections with low effort on her part. Another core feature is the badge system. Kindred assigns badges to those who are highly engaged. This hopes to address the lack of motivation employees may feel to actively participate in workplace socialization, despite wanting that connection. On the HR side, Kindred offers team-building activity templates that HR can customize and schedule, touching on the pain point of lacking a simplified, streamlined process for fostering community within the workplace. Finally, Kindred provides analytics for HR to get employee engagement metrics through intuitive visuals, addressing the HR need for measuring such interactions. I'll now pass it off to Max to take you through a demo of Kindred to see these core features in action.
Awesome, thank you. I'm going to take you guys through a demo. I'll first start off with what the new hire and even what the employee sees, and then I'll go into what the HR sees. So let's say I'm Nicole. I'm a new hire. I just started yesterday, and I'm going through the onboarding process. I get an email invite from my employer to use this Kindred platform, as I see right here. So when I click the sign up button, I'm taken to a page where I can set up my profile and interests. And here there are two important parts. One is interest, as this helps Kindred create personalized connections. And the second is a new hire option, so that Kindred knows to apply curated matching for new hires like me, such as matching me with my onboarding class. Then I'm taken to some preliminary steps where Kindred automatically syncs with Google Calendar to find available times. And based on matching interests, Kindred automatically schedules one-on-ones for me. So in this case, I'll go ahead, I'll accept one of them, click done, and I'm taken to my home page. So there's several things I want to highlight. The first thing is one-on-ones based on matching interests. So I got paired up with Jane because we both like coffee. And we also get curated guided questions for us. The next thing is curated events. So I got invited to a tennis watch party with other colleagues who share the same interest in me in tennis. Another important feature is badges. So on the top right, you can see that I have a badge saying I'm a Kindred star. This is because I actively make a lot of connections and attend events. And I can see other people who have this Kindred star. So this is meant to incentivize employees to engage with new hires. The last thing I want to talk about is the integrations into apps like Google Calendar and Slack. So this is super important because Kindred is meant to be a set it up once, forget about it solution. So this means Google Calendar events are automatically created. This also means, say in Slack, group chats are automatically created. I can schedule follow-up one-on-ones after meeting with Jane for next month. And I can get weekly engagement reports all within Slack. And so that sums up the new hire process. Now I want to talk about what the HR sees on their end. So I want to highlight two key features here. First is analytics. With analytics, an HR person can keep track of engagement metrics so that they can hit their KPIs. Another important feature is the ability for HR to add events from templates. So what Kindred does is suggest group events based on common interests, such as a brainstorming session, Pictionary, soccer watch party. And the HR person can easily add these events into the employees' calendars. And that sums up the demo. So we did some prototype validation through surveys and interviews, and I just want to share two quotes that I've listed right here. But the point I want to drive home is that we have new hires and employers saying they like Kindred and they want to use Kindred. So I'm going to pass it off to Daniel to talk more about market and next steps.
Right. Thank you, Max. So the problem we're trying to solve is not entirely new. So we're not the only product in this space. However, we do stand out based on two important differentiators. We facilitate personalized connections through the interest matching system, and we're built with the employer's needs in mind, with tools like analytics and events templates. Our biggest competitors are Snack and Donuts, the two Slack integrations that focus on connecting employees on a social level. However, they both rely on Slack to function, and Donut doesn't automatically connect people based on their interest, while Snack is missing enterprise-oriented features. On the other hand, Onboarding and Coffee Pals offer employers features like analytics, but they lack the personalized factor since Onboarding primarily focuses on onboarding instead of socialization. And Coffee Pal uses random matching, which is not as tailored. So that leads to our pricing model. Since we're all about simplicity, we use a freemium model with only two tiers, free and enterprise for larger organizations. Compared to our competitors, our pricing is lower because they start at $100 per month. We offer cheaper, simpler, and a more effective solution. So our next step is to release the MVP, gather feedback, and continue to iterate our product to include more features. And that concludes our presentation. Let's build real connections in a virtual workspace. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kindred. That was fantastic. I'm super excited to see products like these out on the market. Yeah, so anyone, all of you that are listening, feel free to go ahead and mention throughout the presentations how excited you are or how cool you think these products are on the chat. We'd love to see you engage on them as well. Just for the last few seconds, if you guys can make sure that we can see the time left notifications, that'd be great. Awesome. Again, thank you, Team 7. We'll move on to Team 2, Grove. I'm looking forward to this presentation. Chris, Jacques, Novia, I see you are all ready. I think screen share should be enabled, and I think Rithvik is ready as well. So go for it whenever you're ready.
Just want to check that everyone can see my screen.
You're good, Novia.
Awesome.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Chris. I'm here with Jacques and Novia, and we are incredibly excited to present to you Grove, Enhancing Gratitude in Your Neck of the Woods. So we started off our problem exploration with the idea of remote work, something we're all getting used to. We spoke to a number of product managers, people managers, and employees to get their biggest concerns on what's bothering them. And the three main themes we received were loneliness, a lack of recognition, especially for employees who don't tend to flaunt their achievements as often, and difficulty in building meaningful relationships, all of which contribute to lower employee engagement. We decided to focus on the lack of recognition because we found that our solution also kind of collaterally supports the other two issues. And so our vision here is to help teams thrive by helping them easily recognize employees in a genuine manner, both remotely and in person. And our solution is focused around three key pillars. Firstly, we want to make sure that it is genuine. It's not forced, doesn't feel like a necessity. And we want to make sure that it is relaxing and enjoyable to use, that it puts you in the mood to say thank you. And it also has to integrate with the employees' existing workflows so they don't have to add a new platform to their day-to-day life. There we go, slide was a little delayed. And so why are we focusing on a recognition platform? We want to, there's definitely a need in the market. So there's $1 trillion lost every single year due to employee disengagement, showing that there is a need from the company point of view. 2 out of 3 employees that were surveyed by Gallup poll said that they have not received recognition in the past 7 days, showing that employees need something like this. And employees who do not feel adequately recognized are 2 times more likely to leave within the next year, demonstrating a need from the HR point of view. And overall, 82% of employees have said that it's better to give someone praise than a gift, showing that gratitude is the key, not just throwing money at the problem.
So while researching our market validity, we asked numerous product managers about their thoughts on our existing recognition services. And the resulting thought that is the current services are kind of clunky, uninspired, and overall just didn't have an effect on their working lives. And they really said that if we could make Grove more personal, it could be a really big game changer in the field. We previously talked about employee engagement, and it's been shown that gratitude has scientifically proven to improve health and employee engagement, which in terms from a study from Gallup shows that this will improve your productivity, profitability, turnover rates, and customer ratings. And this is not a new field. 75% of companies worldwide already use some form of recognition software, whether it be internal or external. The main problem is only 8% of these companies actually think their current program is worth their time. Nevertheless, we are expecting a market growth in this field with an expected 14% growth over the next 5 years. Looking at our competitor matrix, you can see that there are many similar services already. The problem is they're all structured like a social media page, and using something like that is a little exhaustive and just doesn't feel that genuine. And we really want to focus on the genuineness and the easy to use aspect of the product.
So there's 5 key things that we're doing to differentiate ourselves from our competitors. We talked about this unique interface and design that makes you want to use our product, but we're also bringing in intelligence with a machine learning algorithm that identifies employees who are feeling underappreciated so that managers and the rest of the team can help rectify those feelings. We also have our trademark Send a Grove feature, which is essentially a coupon that increases that you give for an activity between 2 coworkers that builds relationships and shows appreciation more than just giving them some money. We also integrate with all the existing workflows and have analytics for managers and HR teams to see their ROI and data on how their teams are doing and what they can do to improve.
So from our primary and secondary market research, we created 2 user personas that we think personify our customer base. So we have Simeon, a software developer, an employee, and we have Josephine, a product manager. They've both been working remotely since the pandemic started and share general sentiments of drops in productivity, isolation, and feeling stuck at home. So now we'll hop over for a quick demo of Grove. I'm just going to check again that everyone can see my screen. Awesome. So we'll start with, of course, our login page. And after logging in, you will see your home forest page or your Grove homepage. So here you can see your team forest. You can also view other teams if you would like to do so. On the left, you can see recent gratitudes given as well as a leaderboard on the right, and these can be filtered by team if you'd like to do so. You can also see your team's impact, which is our personal favorite part about Grove. Each tree planted on your digital forest translates to a real tree planted through the Arbor Day Foundation. And of course, on your homepage, you can send a gratitude. So if someone would like to send a gratitude, he can choose to search for a colleague through the employee database. He can also choose to be listed as anonymous. And finally, he can choose to write a message, share a picture, send a gift card, personalize a video, or create our signature Grove. So today, Simeon decides to send a Grove. As mentioned before, Groves are a personalized coupon, similar to the styles I used to give as a kid or received as a parent for general tasks or gifts. You can choose from a pre-made list of Groves or create a custom Grove. So once you submit your Grove, you can just leave the rest to us. And for example, if Josephine receives a gratitude, she'll receive a notification on her homepage. Open it up and you can see that Josephine has received a voucher or a Grove for 1 round of golf. Now Josephine can say thanks, share, redeem her Grove, and our favorite part again, you can watch your team forest grow. So a tree appears on your forest as well. 1 real tree will be planted through the Arbor Day Foundation. On the HR management end, we also have team analytics, like mentioned before, where you can see your team overview, recent team gratitudes, and various metrics, as well as our ROI calculator based on team member count, average annual salary, employee growth per year, and annual turnover rate. You can also see your investment. An example of our Jira integration is, for example, in Jira or in Grove, depending on what software you have open, you get a notification when your teammate completes a ticket, and Grove will remind you to send them gratitude to thank them for doing so, if you would like to do so.
Now, looking forward into the future, we have a few things that we have identified as our next steps. So currently, we've put together what we believe to be the right team. We have an engineer in Novia who's worked at innovative new companies like Stem Cell, gaining experience in quality control. We have a developer in Jacques who's worked at Google and Asana and is currently doing machine learning research for UBC. And myself worked as a product manager at SAP, as well as a cybersecurity analyst for the Department of Defense. With our wealth of diverse experience, we think that we are a good starting point for this product. Currently, and for the rest of the year, we'll be refining our product, consulting with mentors, and building out an initial prototype. We already have 2 companies interested in trialing our product in the new year, once our prototype is complete. And we're in the process of applying for the next intake of E at UBC's core program and the Hatch Accelerator later this summer. Thank you very much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you, Grove. That was a fantastic presentation. And I got to echo everyone in the chat saying it's a beautiful theme as well. Awesome. And so now we'll be moving on to, everyone give them some love on the chat. We'll move on to team 4, TaskLess. If y'all can turn on your videos and get ready to share your screen. Awesome. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Stefan. Hi, David.
Yeah, I'm just going to share my screen here.
For sure. Hi, Jisoo. Yeah, your screen share is looking good. I think Rithvik is ready, so y'all can go for it whenever you are ready.
Awesome. Thanks, John. So hello, everyone. Today we'll be presenting TaskLess, a desktop app concept to innovate the digital workspace. We are team 4. My name is Vanessa, and on the call with me today, I have Jisoo, Stefan, and David with me. So a little bit about our team. We're all actually current interns working full-time from home right now. And during our problem discovery phase, we asked ourselves, what has been the biggest issue our teams at work have been facing in today's digital workspace? Besides a lack of human interaction, we found ourselves feeling very overwhelmed by the amount of apps and notifications and messages in our day-to-day work. Outlook, Slack, MS Teams, Skype, Zoom, the list goes on, and these notification sounds have almost become part of our natural habitat. So we found it more difficult to prioritize and distinguish important tasks. Now, through our preliminary research, we also found that the average full-time worker spends about 28% of their workday, which is 2.6 hours a day, reading 120 messages also per day. And studies have shown that this constant notification can make you feel more anxious and stressed, and that can lead to about a 40% drop of productivity, according to a McKinsey study. So in a company's point of view, this is not the most effective use of an employee's time. So how might we help companies to increase productivity and alleviate this overwhelming feeling caused by an influx of notifications and messages at work? We present to you TaskLess. So our vision for this product is to create a simple and unified platform to transform notifications to meaningful prioritized action items using AI and NLQ, and to empower professionals to stay organized and reduce feelings of overwhelmingness. Now I'll bring it to Stefan to take you through our user persona.
Thank you, Vanessa. I would like to introduce you to Kate Mueller, a technical project manager. And as a part of her morning routine, she spends an hour and a half reviewing all her notifications for each day. However, with upcoming project deadlines, she's overwhelmed by the number of messages across different platforms and can't spend the same amount of time answering her messages. She's frustrated by the lack of organization that blocks her from quickly identifying and responding to higher priority tasks. As such, Kate's main motivations are to improve her response time and increase productivity by staying on top of all her tasks. As a busy professional, she doesn't have time to manually update tasks and is seeking an automated workflow. So that's why I'm excited to introduce TaskLess, a centralized desktop platform that parses email and message notifications into our prioritized task list. Using feature prioritization methods, we emphasized 4 key feature buckets: connection, task auto-generation, prioritization, and simplicity. This solution will achieve high connectivity as TaskLess will connect multiple messaging and email services into one platform, where everything can be connected through SSO. For task auto-generation, TaskLess will transform your notifications into actionable insights through AI-driven natural language processing that understands the context of these requests. Prioritization will be decided by manual rules as well as natural language processing. Manual rules will enable users to set up priority senders and keywords, while NLP can understand the context of messages to set automated priority levels for all tasks. Lastly, TaskLess will focus on simplicity by only displaying the most important tasks to maximize efficiency, and helps you maintain an updated to-do list through task pinning and auto-clearing of unimportant old tasks.
Thanks, Stefan. So we walk you through the user journey of Kate, who's a project manager at SAP. So when Kate opens the TaskLess app for the first time, she'll be presented with the onboarding workflow, which introduces her to specific TaskLess features, as well as how she can connect her productivity and communication platforms to generate these automated tasks. Next, she can log in with her company SSO, in this case, her SAP account, and enter her SAP credentials. Afterwards, she can connect her specific SAP apps on her SAP laptop, such as Microsoft Teams, Apple Mail, or Slack. Moving forward, it'll take some time for the app to aggregate these platforms and collect the data. And then she can just move to the side for now as I open the mail to show you how an incoming task will look like in terms of how it will be parsed into a task on the platform. So when Kate does receive incoming tasks from her colleague Ethel, she will receive a notification on her Apple device. This notification will be then parsed into our platform and shown on her dashboard as a high priority task. However, she does realize that this is not a high priority task at the moment, and she wants to move this on to medium priority tasks. This will also help teach the AI, specifically for Kate, what is high priority and what is low priority. So moving forward, it will help really generate personalized insights for Kate. So from here, she can also expand the specific task and learn more about the details, and also pin the task so it lasts longer than 24 hours. From here, she also collapse this and open the specific task in which she can complete the spec doc that it was asking for and send it back to him. So next, looking at after Kate has created that spec doc and sending it back to Ethel, how the deletion process look like. So from here, she's closing inbox here for a bit. She can expand the task, select the delete button, which will move this to the archive menu. So from here, under the archive task, she can restore the task. However, I'll just head back to the dashboard in this case. And if she needs to add an additional task that is not generated by AI, she can also create it using this button here. So next, it was really important for us to give Kate the flexibility to create and add manual rules on top of what the AI suggests her. So from here, she can go to her settings, and she can turn off or turn on the manually deleted task every 24 hours. In this case, I'll keep it on and add a new restriction. So in Slack, for example, she can add a restriction for either a person, a channel, a group chat, or even a phrase to create either a high or low priority. So in this case, she'll add her colleague Ralph, and from here, select Ralph as a high priority. So any messages that come in from Ralph will be categorized as high priority for Kate. So after she adds for this, it will populate on her settings page here. So that is it for the demo. I'll pass it back to Jisoo to continue our presentation.
So users won't have to worry about missing a task, as TaskLess will receive all notifications from your communication platforms, and messages will be transformed into notifications if it's a clear task, if there's something directed to you, if it's flagged as important, or it has an urgent context, and the task is generated for the user. So we use product validation methods like primary interviews, clickable prototypes, and user surveys. And we found out that 3 out of 4 mentors identified using different communication platforms as a hassle. And they're dealing with this by simply clicking on each apps individually. So let's compare TaskLess for our competitors like Trello, MS Teams Planner, and macOS Reminders. And what TaskLess does is that it does all the work for you while retaining the benefits of these softwares. And as you can see on the product position graph, we focused on the simplicity and the price accessibility. And lastly, we created a freemium model to encourage professionals to try our services and to generate revenue. And we have 3 tiers, free, essential, and enterprise, with the main differentiator being the number of allowed app connections. Thank you for listening.
Awesome. Thank you very much, TaskLess. That was a fantastic presentation. And yeah, everyone in the chat, feel free to congratulate them on a job well done. Up next is Team 16, OneCard. if you can go ahead and get ready to present. Awesome, Nicole. I see that you are screen sharing now and we can all see it.
Okay, I'm ready whenever everyone else is ready.
Yeah, go for it. I think Ritvik is ready. So Team 16, you can take it away.
Okay. Hello, we are Team 16 and we will be talking about our product OneCard, save while spending without thinking about it. Given credit cards with different savings and rewards, how would you be able to choose the credit card to pay with? This was a big question Stanford and his friends faced when discussing how they use their credit cards. With that question in mind, we interviewed 10 potential users on Clubhouse about their credit card usage and came up with these key findings. We found that most people have 2 to 4 credit cards and people like cashback and rewards. And it would be helpful to have a single credit card with cashback payments and bonuses. With that in mind, we made a user persona, Timmy the Mindful Spender. Let's highlight some key characteristics plus pain and gain points of Timmy. He's 26 years old and recently graduated from UBC with an annual salary of 110K. Timmy believes it's important to save money and make the biggest bang of every buck. He is somewhat financially literate and majority of his purchases are groceries and other needs for the home. Finally, he signed up for 3 credit cards. Now let's walk through this user journey map as Timmy. He picks out his food at a grocery market and goes to checkout. There are many cards for him to choose from his wallet, so he just randomly picks one. Little does he know he had another card with greater cashback, but he makes the purchase anyways. At the end of the year, he only earns $50 when he could have been saving $300. We also conducted secondary research on our topic and discovered that most Canadians have 2 credit cards and 84% choose their cards based on rewards. A competitor, Rakuten.ca, has 5 million active users in Canada, which shows there is a market with people who want cashback and rewards. Our problem statement is, how can consumers easily decide which credit card to use to optimize savings for every purchase? We introduce to you OneCard. For working professionals ages 25 to 35 in Canada who need an easy solution to optimize all their credit card rewards and cashbacks, OneCard is a mobile app that allows users to always pay with a credit card that optimizes their cashback and rewards for the purchase.
So now we're going to move on to the demo of our app. So welcome to OneCard. When the user first signs up for an account, they'll be prompted to fill in a survey based on what they want to save for. This will factor into how we optimize in the back end for which credit card is the right choice to use. In this main pay screen, users can easily pay for any of their purchases with a credit card that will optimize their earnings. We geolocate that the user is shopping at Shoppers Drug Mart. Their location influences what card will be used to pay for this transaction. For shoppers, we've decided that the optimal card out of the user's added cards is the PC Financial World Elite. If the user wants to use a different card, they can also manually choose to switch the card, which brings us to this screen where they can compare their different options. If the geolocation isn't available, they can also manually choose a different retailer or shopping category. This would change what card we recommend. Moving on to the card screen, users can see the current cards and their balances, as well as add new cards. Clicking into a card gives the user more detailed information into the particular card and its benefits. They can also see how many points or cashback dollars they've earned, the conversion rates, as well as redeem their points from the appropriate merchant. On the activity screen, users can get a high-level glance of their stats across all of their cards. They can see how much they spent and earned across different timeframes, as well as go into more detail of each transaction. They've also converted all their earnings into cashback, which is based off the initial survey done in the beginning of the app. We also suggest new credit cards based on the user's spending habits. So for example, if the user spends a lot per month in dining, we'll recommend that they open the Capital One Credit MasterCard because it gives a 3% cashback on dining, which would save them another $17 a month. Overall, OneCard allows users to intuitively and easily tap once to make their purchase without having to worry about figuring which credit card to use based on the store or category they're shopping in. I'll now pass it back to Stanford to talk more about our product.
Assuming $1,500 a month is spent, a user would typically save around 75 cents a month or $9 a year before using OneCard. After OneCard, someone saves $32.50 a month or $390 a year. Personal finance software has an annual market size of $1.5 billion and on average is increasing 6% year over year. According to Allied Market Research in 2020, the mobile-based software segment is expected to grow at the highest rate during the forecasted period of 2020 to 2027. This is mostly due to the rise in adoption of mobile smartphones across the world and a focus on digitizing financial services. Digitization in the banking sector has helped organizations and customers make better, more efficient decisions. Additionally, increased adoption of neobanks, which are financial institutions that don't have physical locations, and more credit cards being made available like Apple Card, as well as cryptocurrency or cryptocurrency MasterCards. This means that OneCard has a lot of potential in this market. Currently, Canada does not have an app that exists for these reasons, and that is why we want to be there first. We will not be charging anything for users to begin using the app in order to gain traction. Instead, we will start off with in-app advertisements, transition to partnering with other financial institutions for unique offers, and then credit card referrals as a future feature. A moonshot goal is for us to create an API that can be integrated with Apple Wallet and Google Pay. In terms of barriers of entry for OneCard, the first is security in terms of data storage and data transfer across financial institutions. The second is compliance with each country's laws. And the third is integration with the backends of each financial institution, because each of their systems can vary. Listed here are our competitors. OneCard has the highest integration across all platforms and produces the highest cashback for the users. For our implementation plan, we will recruit developers and designers in our first phase, then work on the feature where users can link their credit cards within the app. Then we will create the feature of recommending specific credit cards using geolocation. Phase 4 will work on making the API track users and previous spending habits. And our final MVP feature will recommend cards with high sign-up bonuses. If possible, like we said, we want to integrate OneCard with Apple Wallet and Google Pay. To get to the market as fast as possible, securely, and with scalability in mind, we'll be using Flutter. Flutter is a mobile framework that exports to iOS and Android with one code base. And we'll be using Firebase and Google Cloud for highly scalable real-time servers. I will now pass it off to Christy to explain the user journey roadmap.
Thank you, Stanford. Now to wrap up our presentation, let's look back to Timmy's user journey. He now checks out of the store and OneCard chooses the optimal card for him to maximize his cashback and rewards. He then makes the purchase and earns $300 at the end of the year. All the pain points are now gains. Thank you for listening to our presentation and feel free to reach out to us if you have any other questions.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Team 16 and OneCard. That was a great presentation. Everyone go ahead and give them some love on the chat. Up next is Team 6, Insight. So Irina, Marissa, and Renee, you want to go ahead and turn on your videos and get ready to present. Awesome. I see, Marissa, that you are sharing your screen. I think Rithvik is ready, so go for it whenever you are ready.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. I'm Renee. I'm currently a UX researcher at Samsung. And in my day-to-day work, we discover user insights through various research methodologies, such as user interview, usability testing, or surveys, in order to design better products. But the fact that everything is in different places really drives me crazy. And last month, when I went to the UXR conference, which is the world's largest UX research conference, I realized that many other researchers were also struggling with the same problem and are looking for a solution. So today I'm here with Marissa and Irina to share our product, Insight, the ultimate collaborative user insight platform. Within companies that don't have a centralized insight repository, we found that they have 4 main pain points. First, it's very easy to lose the holistic meaning of the data, as data is often analyzed in isolation. And second, reports often go unread by stakeholders due to inconvenience and lack of actionability. Also, data is scattered, making data analysis more difficult and time-consuming. And of course, there's a lack of synergy between qualitative and quantitative data, where web analytics and market research are often analyzed separately from the user-centered data. So after conducting research and interviews, we learned that PMs want data-driven decision-making. They need a centralized place for insights-related information, and there is a growing need for multidisciplinary collaboration. We also find that there's an opportunity in the market as the majority of the SaaS company still struggle to provide very satisfactory customer experience, indicating that there is a need for user insights and that this is a fast-growing market that is currently unsaturated. Now we have the problem in the market, so let me introduce the solution. Insight is an insight platform that aggregates all user-centered data, web analytics, and market research findings to provide a collaborative repository for deeper analysis and better insights. So as you can see, there are many existing tools that focus on specific research methodology, such as survey, interviews. But on the right, for insight management, there's a gap for users to combine both qualitative and quantitative data, and that's where Insight will stand.
Now, of course, we want to make things easy for different teams. So in order to integrate Insight into the current workflow seamlessly, Slack integration will be a key feature that we want to develop. Users will not only be able to create new Insight projects directly from Slack, they can also attach conversation threads to projects to keep the communication trail in one place. From Insight, they can also view attached Slack threads and sign up for Slack alerts for updates on specific projects. Moreover, to provide the quantitative data, Insight will be integrated with Google Analytics to access web analytics data, and users will be able to embed their Tableau dashboards onto their Insight homepage. These integrations will provide a one-site overview of all the metrics that are to be tracked.
So now let's take a look at our product. So first, users have the option to sign in with Slack, Google, or email. And once they click sign in, they are brought to their dashboard. So this sidebar here is collapsible, as you can see. The dashboards are interactive, so users are able to customize it. Since Insight connects to data from Google Analytics, users can build their own visualizations from their web analytics data using these features over here. So if you come here, you're able to see all of the imported files. And then here is the projects page. So you're able to see all the different projects, their collaborators, their date created, and other information. You can also create a new project from this page. So you enter your project title, description, tags here, and other information. So with the tags, you can search for projects by tag or content name or project. So in this case, I'm searching for tag, including conversion rate. And you can see that when I press search, all of these results include the tag of conversion rate. So similarly, we can also filter, so we can add different filters. So for example, here I'm filtering for tag includes conversion rate again, and I also added a filter for date. So again, when you apply the filter, you're able to see the projects and the files that you want that match the filter. So now let's take a look at what's inside a project. So once you're in, you can see the different subpages here. Obviously, they would be labeled, and then you can edit the files inside. So here you can toggle, and here with the toolbar, you can edit. And you can also see in real time who the last person was to edit the file. On the side here, you can see attached Slack threads and comments. So here, when you click show more, it expands the Slack threads. So you can see it right in Insight without having to go back to Slack and comb through your conversations. So this sidebar here is collapsible. Let's go into label 2. So here is an example of an interview transcript. And let's say you have a highlighted section where you want to add a tag. So you're able to highlight it and add a tag right from the file. This button here allows you to copy the URL if you want to share the project. And this button here allows you to sign up for Slack alerts for a particular project. So whether you want to send Slack alerts to a particular Slack channel or just to yourself, you can add Slack alerts here. Speaking of Slack, from Slack, you are able to, on any conversation or thread, you are able to add as a project conversation or create a new project from that thread. So for example, adding a new project conversation, you could search by project name, or you could add a project URL as we saw from before. So when you add to the project conversation, as we saw previously, it would attach on the project itself right there. And then creating a new project shows the same page as from Insight, but now you can create a project directly from Slack. So instead of scattered paper trails and isolated research within teams, Insight provides a centralized thread of comments in Slack threads, making it so much easier for product managers. Instead of data stored in scattered locations and leadership teams and other people forgetting to read reports, they are now organized, searchable by keyword and other filters, and they're easily accessible without having to remember where that one report was sent. In addition, users will be able to customize their dashboards and see user-centered data, web analytics, and market trends all in one place. So with increased collaboration between teams and time saved during analysis, Insight ultimately allows companies to provide greater value to their customers by generating better user insights.
Now, if you look at the implementation plan over the next few months, how are we bringing Insight to life? For the next 3 months from April to June, we would like to continue our research to further refine our feature design as well as the user flow. We will start to develop the MVP from around May to August and start testing by the end of the development period. Based on these tests, changes and further refining will be carried out to improve the product.
As you can see, we've received great feedback on our product from product managers as well as user researchers, and we are super excited to be tackling a big pain for many product managers and user researchers, and even more excited to develop the product as a next step. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope to see you later in our breakout room if you have any questions.
Awesome, Team 6. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. I think everyone can go ahead and go ahead and show your love in the chat. Up next, last but not least, is Team 5. Thank you everyone for sticking around. This is our final exhibition of the day. And so Philmin, Steph, Tiff, if you want to go ahead and share your screen and get ready to present. And Jenny, sorry, didn't mean to forget you there.
Okay, whenever you're ready to.
Cool, thanks. Onboarding can suck, but it doesn't have to. To us, an effective digital workspace is one that sets team members up for success with all the right access to all the right tools and opportunities to socialize. Despite having top-tier people, process, and technology, not giving newcomers a platform to step on makes them feel rocky on the first few days and can knock them right off. In fact, all 4 of us have been onboarded virtually this past summer and have experienced challenges of isolation and loneliness firsthand. And this is where onboarding comes in. My name is Tiffany, and I'm here with my team, Philmin, Stephanie, and Jenny, and we're here to share our solution on how to improve the onboarding experience by humanizing it. So how does the onboarding experience impact your business? I'm sure many of you can agree that onboarding experiences can set the tone. In fact, 69% of employees who experience effective onboarding are more likely to stay with their employer for at least 3 years. And compared to competitors, they experience a lot of different benefits, including productivity boosts, or in general, more confident and driven employees, and generally speaking, higher retention rates. On the flip side, poor onboarding can be extremely costly to your organization. 88% of new hires don't agree that they experience an effective onboarding experience. And these challenges can include delayed project start times to even losing up to 30% of these dissatisfied new hires within 6 months. So evidently, this can be a huge toll on a company's bottom line based off of that ineffective HR spend. And evidently, the lack of proper onboarding has always had adverse impacts on employee satisfaction. And within the COVID bubble, feelings of isolation and disconnection have only skyrocketed, making engaging onboarding experiences more necessary than ever.
So this is where Onboard comes in. For Gen Zs and enterprise technology companies, Onboard is the onboarding platform that delivers a people-first platform experience to directly tackle feelings of isolation in a new remote workspace. So why Gen Z? Gen Zs need more support in their early career, and they care about their work experience and a community. Technology industries are one with the highest turnover rates, and when you apply that to enterprise size, they often require and desire standardization, but lack a personal or social experience.
Onboard exists between a two-sided market where users are the new and existing employees of an organization. And on the other side, we have HR representatives and executives who have buying power. Let's meet these users.
So Janice is your new hire and she's a new grad. She's a team player and she really wants to belong to a community. She's new to the company and in her career, so she wants to make a good impression and not make work for others. Overall, she wants to think less about her onboarding through transparency of expectations. Now let's meet Max. So Max is your HR rep. He's a people person. He takes pride in his ability to facilitate teams, and he really wants to create an inclusive and positive environment for newcomers like Janice. He really wants Janice to be equipped and to be able to start contributing fast, and he needs a centralized platform to do this. So what are the current solutions that Janice and Max can turn to? With a total addressable market of $956 million in 2019, there are many solutions in the market. Solutions like Bamboo HR and Sapling address traditional HRM problems with tactical people management, whereas a more integrated solution like Donut and Slack hones in on connecting others and tackles the social aspect of remote work. Onboard is right in between, combining the practicality of an HR platform with the social aspect of an integrated solution like Donut. More specifically, how does Onboard address Janice and Max's pain points? So Onboard focuses on the social engagement during onboarding when newcomers are still finding their way through chatbots, outreach, resources, and articles, people pages, and team involvement to tackle those feelings of isolation. And it's rounded off as a practical HR platform with task management, analytics, and feature integrations. And let's visualize this by hopping into our product.
Thank you so much. I will lead the review. Here we go. So welcome to Onboard, and all aboard this ship we go. Okay, so right off the bat, we were talking about Janice. Now, Janice, she is experiencing cognitive overload. There's a bunch of things that she has to do for her new job, and it's all here in one place, really easily. Like she can look at what tasks she has. So signing a non-disclosure form, she's able to see her progress. It's also tied to the person who's responsible, who she could reach. So Janice checks us off. She's already finished her NDA. Awesome. But the big thing that we always wanted to tackle was the socialization aspect. So there's this huge focus on community, as you can see. So there's Meet the Crew here. We focused on that all aboard the ship sort of branding, making a company more of a friendly experience. So you can click on the community tab and you get to meet your employees for more than just their position. So Manuel is a senior software engineer, but he's also part of a mental health advocacy group, and you could just learn more about him beyond just their job. And you can also search for people that you want to meet. But if that's not your cup of tea, you could also talk to our chatbot. So this is Octobud. He'll let you know, he'll ask you what you need help with, and you're able to send him a message. So we're going to be using an internal chatbot tool, so like an out-of-the-box solution. So what you're able to do is you're able to send him a message. So you can ask him, can you help me find coworkers from UBC? And he'll be able to, parse LinkedIn and be able to determine that, oh, Manuel, he also worked at UBC. You should go talk to him. That's a convenient feature. If you're not quite sure, there's other options where you can, for example, select the type of music they listen to, or maybe they like traveling Europe. So you're able to click and find employees based on common interests. And I'll actually pass it off to Jenny. What else does Octobud do for our users?
Yeah, great question, Philman. So the chatbot can also gather feedback on a new hire's onboarding experience on behalf of the company. So for example, the bot can check up on just how they're doing, how they think of the onboarding experience. So if they have a good experience, that's great for the company. So we'll see how it works. And if they don't have such an enjoyable experience, for example, if they're not so happy about it, the bot recommends that they would reach out to an HR representative, so that would kind of resolve their issue. And on top of that, on top of checking in with them, our platform also has a page for events that's happening around the company. So this will allow the employee to be better integrated within the company culture when they first start. And yeah, now we'll be moving on to the tech stack. And if you can go back to the Slides. It'll be really brief. We'll be leveraging a range of technologies varying from React to Google Cloud Firestore. I won't go into too much detail. I'll actually just pass it to Stephanie to discuss our success metrics and our product roadmap.
For sure. Thanks, Jenny. So just very quickly, we're just really aiming to decrease employee turnover, increase employee satisfaction. And these are just some of the metrics you want to measure. And I'll quickly wrap it up with Tiff to go over pricing and our roadmap.
This is our pricing plan. We'd love to share more during the networking session, and we'd like to talk more about our product roadmap. Looking ahead, our goal is to grow our team and continue building out our MVP. And we'd like to highlight a key milestone, which is to drive user adoption. And we're doing this through our priority to develop API integrations with other HRM platforms that other enterprises are using, such as Bamboo HR. And with that, that wraps up our presentation. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Onboard. That was a fantastic presentation. I think everyone here loved the octopuses, and I don't know anybody else. I'm kind of craving seafood. All right. So now that everyone has presented, and while look at our numbers, we're going up, we are going to get ready for voting. So Scott right now is actually going to do something for us. He's going to share the exhibition book. And what this handbook is a summary of everyone's presentations, as well as links to the slide deck and the exhibitions, and even bios about any of the exhibitors if you want to connect with them afterwards. And what we want everyone to do is just take a moment to go through each of the presentations before we vote for them. And so this is just to make sure that everyone has a good shot, no matter what time they presented. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and take around 3 minutes to read through the exhibition book. Awesome. So I hope everyone enjoyed that jam. And so we're going to go ahead and get ready to vote. So everyone go ahead and get hyped on the chat. I'm going to go ahead and launch the poll now. Just a little reminder that we will be auditing these in real time. So make sure not to, vote on multiple devices. We know everyone's going to be honest. We have an honest system in place. And we're just going to keep this open for around 1 minute. Yeah, Stanford, get hyped. That's good stuff. Yeah, go ahead, support your team or support the product that you think will really go ahead and make the most of the funding. Awesome. I see that 100 of us have already voted. We'll have 20 seconds left, 15 seconds left. 85% of us have voted. It's good stuff. Just 5 seconds left. Ooh, and it's coming to be really, really close. Awesome. I'll just leave it for a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. So 96% of us have voted, and we're just going to go ahead and take this to the back and audit the results. In the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen here. Actually, no, I'm not going to share my screen here. We're going to move on to the next part of our program today. And that is a quick plug by the two clubs that are really the backbone of the Produthon themselves. Yen, do you want to go ahead and plug BizTech?
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name is Yen and I am the community project lead at UBC BizTech. So to give you guys a quick rundown of what BizTech is that we are the largest business and technology club on campus that strives to bridge the gap for students to explore opportunities in business and technology. By hosting events, conferences, bunch of workshops, students get the opportunity to gain exposure on how business and technology come together in the real world and creating enduring relationships. So whether you want to network or learn a technical skill, BizTech gives you the freedom to explore and shape your undergrad experience. And we had a great time organizing Produthon with UBC PMC. So yeah, Ratchet. I'll pass it on to Ratchet.
Yep, thank you, Yen, our wonderful co-host BizTech. And I'm Ratchet. I am one of the co-founders as well as the president for UBC Product Management Club. So just to give you guys a little bit of information regarding our vision and how this all fits into the Produthon. So we started off actually quite recently, about a year ago at UBC as a new club, and our goal is to build build a community for aspiring product managers at UBC. And we do this through three main ways. One of them is speaker events. So we do get PMs from industry to talk about their experiences, and so that we can take some learnings from them and apply them to our own PM journeys. The second way is through workshops. And if you guys were a part of the Produthon bootcamp, we actually had 3 workshops, or actually 4 workshops about product management specific skills like feature prioritization, problem validation, all of which the teams have actually managed to apply in their solutions today. And yeah, so that's kind of our second leg. And the third leg is kind of our Slack community. So if you guys are not on there, I would encourage you to join. We are basically trying to create a space for us to get to know each other and learn about PM together. And this is something that I personally wished existed at UBC for aspiring PM. So I'm really passionate about it and would love to see some of you on our Slack as we kind of have a nice community going there. But yeah, that's a little bit about it, about UBC PMC. I'll pass it back to John now to take it away with the rest of the event.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Yen and Ratchet. As a co-director for the Produthon, it was an immense pleasure to work alongside these 2 amazing clubs. Clubs that I've looked up to for a long time, like BizTech, and clubs that I was really excited to join, like PMC. And with the combined power of these amazing communities, we're able to pull off something like the Produthon. So thank you again for all of your support. And now we actually have a special guest here. So we have representation from E at UBC. His name is Chang. I'll let him introduce himself, and he's just here to go ahead and plug the program.
Thanks, Sean. My name is Chang Han. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. Great jobs to all the teams. They were excellent presentations, and I'm looking forward to seeing some or most of the teams in some of our programming at E at UBC. E at UBC is short for Entrepreneurship at UBC. We have both an incubator and accelerator on campus. Let me step back a minute and tell you a little bit about the UBC stats that you may or may not have been aware of. So at UBC, we've got over 80,000 students, faculty, and staff, and we accept startup ventures into our program if you're a student, faculty, or staff, or if you're an alumni within the last 5 years. UBC spent over $670 million each year in research funding, and we want to turn some of that research into world-changing ventures. We are considered the #1 climate action university in the world. We have 8 Nobel Prize winners as faculty at our school, and we've spun out over 210 companies, meaning there are 210 ventures that have come from UBC research that are active and engaged in the world out there. At E at UBC, we have a dual mandate. So we are enriching the education of students and faculty and staff who join our program, and we're also building the transformational ventures that you create and then we support. From the metrics perspective, our E at UBC ventures so far have created 920 jobs. We have raised a total of 1.38 billion in financing through all our companies. Our companies have generated $104 in revenue, and we have supported 484 ventures so far. We typically have a venture come in phase 1, and our phase 1 and phase 2 is our incubator program. These are short sprints. If you are successful in moving through into phase 3, phases 3 and 4 is our accelerator, and these are longer venture building timeframes. We've already heard that at least one team is interested in joining us, so I hope to see you guys soon. And for the rest of us, I'm going to be around. Please feel free to hit me up or meet me in one of the rooms, and I will be happy to answer any questions you have. Thanks again for having me here, John.
Thank you so much, Chang. It's a pleasure to have E at UBC. Awesome. So now that we've gone ahead and counted up all the votes. Before we can go ahead, we do have to make a few special thank yous. So we need to thank our amazing sponsors, the CUS and the AMS. Both of these organizations that almost all of you UBC students will know about are really instrumental in being able to fund our Produthon. Chang was mentioning about how the ventures were able to generate a bunch of revenue over there at UBC. We, in the events communities, we can only run because of funding from groups and communities like these. So a sincere and warm thank you to both the CUS and the AMS. And also, I'd like to thank all of you for coming here and all of the competitors that are joining us. If you aren't aware, the Produthon was a 3-phase event. It started with the boot camp where we went into problem exploration, feature prioritization, and solution validation. Then we went to the competition, which was last weekend, where we talked about competition landscape, designing and prototyping. And also we learned how to present. And today is the exhibition when we were able to observe and exhibit, and also we'll be going into our networking today. If you missed anything from this competition, if you weren't able to compete, but you'd like to learn more, don't worry about it. A lot of it was recorded, and it's actually available on the UBC PMC YouTube channel. So Scott's gonna go ahead and throw that link into the chat. So make sure to subscribe to the UBC PMC YouTube channel to learn more about amazing workshops, or even visit some of the ones that we've already recorded. I promise they're fantastic resources if you're interested in PM design or anything in that area. Awesome. So without further ado, let's get a virtual drum roll going for our runner-up. So again, this is for a $250 prize of seed funding. And I'm really happy to announce that this runner-up for the exhibition is Team TaskLess. Congratulations, everyone on Team TaskLess. You guys did a fantastic job, and we're really proud of you. Yeah, I see lots of hype going on in the chat. Awesome. And last but not least, we have our top exhibitor. This is for the grand prize of the exhibition. This is a $500 prize. And this will all be in seed funding to make sure that this venture can go on to the next level. And let's get a virtual drum roll going. Oh, Team OneCard, Team 16. Congratulations, everybody on Team 16. Stanford, Nicole, and Christy, you guys did a fantastic job. Yeah, and I love to see the support that's going on in the chat. That's absolutely amazing. That's astounding. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the event today. We are not done, however, we have still other stuff to do. Before we go, we need to plug the 2 clubs. So Scott's gonna go ahead and share all of our social media links again. Join our Slack community at PMC, sign in and register for the UBC BizTech newsletters, and follow us both on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I promise that it will be worth it. Only high quality content coming out of these 2 amazing clubs. I hope you all enjoyed the event today. Thank you so much for joining us. I've had a ton of fun, and I hope you've had some fun as well.